Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here with you this evening to speak about one of my favorite things, something that gets me excited every day, which is AI, and specifically AI in branding and fashion. And as you've heard, I spent a lot of my career working in the fashion industry as well as the beauty industry and the wellness industry. So I'm particularly interested in how the fashion industry will be changing with these new technology developments. So, as most of you we've just met, you know a little bit about me, but I want to start with what we're going to cover today. So, we can't talk about AI without explaining what AI is. Many of us are using the technology, but might not understand how it actually works behind the scenes so that we can get better output. After some introduction, understanding the concepts, we're going to go into how it's actually going to change the fashion industry. What are the disruptors? What are the tools that are going to be used within the AI space? I am so excited to speak a lot about trends. This is where the magic happens, so stick with me. I promise I have some really cool visuals to show you today. And this is trends within the AI ecosystem. And we can't talk about what's happening now unless we're going to talk about where we're going in the future. So I have some predictions about what's going to happen from now until 2030, so future casting. As you've heard, I am a fractional chief marketing officer. I have my own business as a marketing consultant, and I am also an AI consultant, and I'm an educator and mentor, and so grateful to be here with St. Thomas University and the new chair of the advisory board. Okay, so we all know AI is artificial intelligence, right? But artificial intelligence is actually a segment of computer science. So as much as we're hearing about AI just now, AI has actually been around for a long time and has many different aspects of the technology, not just what we know of as ChatGPT. So AI is actually creating technology that will help perform tasks that are typically done by humans. So it's typically something that would require human intelligence, but that could be problem solving, understanding natural language, and recognizing patterns. And that's super important to think about, is actually recognizing patterns, right? Versus understanding, two totally different things. So some of you are using ChatGPT or Bard or Claude. Anybody use technology? Anybody not yet? Tried it? Not even to write a Michael Jackson poem? Okay. So if you're using these tools, they're actually called LLMs, which is a segment of AI. And what an LLM is, it's a large language model. And this is something that's been trained on a set data of language, of information. And so it's actually allowing us to interact with this text language model, natural language processing model at scale. So this is when we're interacting, when we're prompting any of these technologies, most of them are LLMs. But there's a whole ecosystem we talked about with AI, right? So this is one of my favorite slides, super interesting to me. I geek out all day about this. So there's two different types of AI, generally speaking, for our purposes. There's narrow AI, or weak AI, and then there's general AI, or strong AI. So you'll see of these two, we have weak AI has a lot underneath it, but general AI has a unicorn. Why does it have a unicorn? Well, debatably, but for all intents and purposes, this doesn't actually exist today completely. Because general AI, or strong AI, would be when we cross over into the full understanding, when technology will actually be able to perform completely human tasks. So we're not quite there yet. Again, this is kind of something that's debated within the industry, whether or not some of these tools already have aspects of strong AI involved. But for all intents and purposes, this isn't here today, because even though ChatGPT is responding to us and we think it understands, it's actually not fully understanding like a human, which is probably a good thing for right now. So it's recognizing patterns, right? Like a predictive model. So that was probably an earlier genesis of of AI is whenever you're texting and you know how it will prompt you the next word already, because it's predicting what the next word that you're going to say is or you're going to type. So that's a predictive model. So under narrow AI, we have machine learning, we have robotics, we have neural networks, and then we have natural language processing, which includes LLMs, like we spoke about. So some LLMs you might have used or heard of are ChatGPT, that's 2 through 4, right? All of ChatGPT is an LLM, Bard, and Claude. And now there's some new LLMs on the market as well. So what about image generation? We've all seen some of these really cool images online that are AI generated. So some of these are very related to LLMs because it's a prompt input, right? So that's still using LLM technology, but then it's an image output. So related to an LLM, but not quite exactly the same technology, because you can actually now go from image to image, you can go from text to video, but the primary image generation tools that we're using right now is DALL-E, which is in OpenAI, which is part of ChatGPT. You can actually prompt DALL-E in ChatGPT, and Midjourney, which is a little bit less user-friendly. If you ever use a program called Discord, a lot of gamers use Discord, you actually need to log into Discord to access Midjourney. But some really cool things that we're going to talk about, both of these two platforms. So we've all heard it, right? We've all heard the doomsday AI is coming to replace your job, right? This is what the fear is. Well, I have good news, and on the bright side, when it comes to the global job market, AI is actually predicted to create as many jobs as it displaces. Okay, this is from a Udemy 2024 global trend report. And in terms of how much opportunity we have with our global GDP, it's actually potentially going to drive benefits of up to $15 trillion by 2030. So this is a PwC report as well. So this is exciting news, right? All the doomsday that we've heard about, well, we're still going to be making money, and AI is going to create new jobs. With that said, how does this affect the fashion industry? Well, AI is actually set to between 150 to 275 billion in terms of profits in apparel, fashion, luxuries in the luxury sectors in the next 3 to 5 years. That's tremendous, right? And really great for us in fashion. And it's going to help promote greater inclusivity, sustainability, a huge challenge that we have as an industry, and creativity. So I can't gatekeep, I can't get up here and tell you that everything is going to be sunshine and rainbows. The truth is that there are some challenges ahead with this technology. And according to tech.co, of the 10 most vulnerable roles that I saw that I think are important to talk about are designers, copywriters, content creators, and customer service. And if you think about it, beyond fashion, a lot of these roles are at almost any company. The way I like to approach it is, it's not just job roles, it's skills. So it doesn't mean that we're not necessarily going to have these roles. It's going to mean how they are currently performed is going to be completely different. Right? So it's not to get scared if you are interested in being a designer. Trust me, I care. That was my background. So these are my people. As a marketer, copywriters, designers, creatives, this is who I have managed in my marketing career, and this is who I identify with. So I'm really, really passionate about helping these people and all of us upskill with AI. And again, on the bright side, I'm going to leave you with all the bright side, which is new skills and jobs will be needed. And jobs that we haven't really thought about before, like AI maintenance. Well, AI maintenance does actually exist in certain departments now. If you think about it, someone who would oversee robotics and things like that in the technology departments of companies, they may already have AI maintenance roles. But now, with the technology being across many departments, there'll actually be the need for AI maintenance across multiple departments. Totally new job that doesn't exist right now. New skill set that doesn't exist or is being developed. Data management. Data management of unstructured data is currently a huge challenge, right? And how data management will be performed is going to be completely transformed with AI. And one of the most exciting things is what I'm deeming the new creative. So if we think about execution being taken off the table, right? We don't necessarily have to worry as much about the exact output. We can create images with AI. We can create designs with AI. What that can actually provide for us is the opportunity to take on bigger, high-level creative projects and thought process that only humans can do now. And we can do things at scale. So if I was to start a campaign, I would previously need to focus at every single step. Now we're going to have AI assistance along each one of those pieces down the journey. So the new creative is what we're going to all aim to be. And if there's one thing that you take away from this presentation, I'm going to give it to you early. That is, the key to success is upskilling. We can't all sit here and think that exactly what we know today will work for forever. With any disruptive technology that comes into play, we all have to take a student's mindset to this technology. So you're all here, you're all a step ahead because you're here learning about AI. So I commend you for that. And every day I'm waking up and learning about AI. So I want to know, show of hands, do you trust AI advice? Yes? Okay, a little bit. Anybody not trust it at all? Super scared? Okay, it's okay. That's totally cool. I want to talk about consumer trust, right? Do consumers trust what AI says? Specifically with advice. And 73% of global consumers in a study actually trust generative AI to tell them advice on finances, medical advice, and relationship advice. So that means that people are going to ChatGPT and these other LLMs and they're saying, how do I put my money in the stock market? What do? I just broke my toe. And how do I break up with my boyfriend? So that's a lot to put on ChatGPT, right? Probably you should seek a therapist or a professional for a lot of these things. So, although that's a little scary, the reality is that this technology is based on a large data set which will likely give pretty good answers. And that data set and these technologies are being validated by users. So whatever is getting its good response is going to be provided more and more. So what do you think about AI-created imagery? Do you think you can tell the difference? You think you can tell the difference? Yes? Anybody not sure? They're not really sure? Okay. All right, so I have a test here. Don't think about it too much. Everybody who thinks fully AI generated, is A the fully generated image or is B the fully generated image? Okay, so A, okay, and B. Okay, perfect, it's A. Okay, which is fully AI generated, A or B? A, okay, or B? Okay, good job. Most of you got B, but hard to tell, right? I'm specifically using beauty and fashion images for a reason, right? Okay, fully generated AI. A, who's got A? Okay, or B, who's got B? Okay, it's B. That woman really has that in her eyes. Isn't that amazing? This is an incredible photographer, Tamara Williams. Okay. Which is fully AI generated? A or B? Trick question, they're both AI generated. Okay, which is fully generated? A or B? Trick question, they're both real. Okay, but I know, trick questions are not fair. But it's done on purpose because I specifically chose these images and I said fully generated by AI because we know in our industry, we Photoshop images, right? So there's a little bit, surprisingly, this photographer, her lighting is so incredible that she really does get pretty close to this. It's not that Photoshopped. But it just goes to show you that we won't really be able to tell the difference, especially in our industry, because we are so accustomed to seeing edited images, right? And I'm not even talking about filters on social media. I'm talking about campaigns that have been edited for years and years and years, back to when I started my career I was a photo editor at a magazine. Okay, so I wanted to know, again, what do consumers think? So a study by the American Psychological Association did a blind study and they asked people, is this art, different than images, is this art human generated or AI generated? And as we saw in our own experiment here, only 35% of the time they were accurately able to decide what was human and what was AI. Interestingly enough, in the study, there was still a fundamental preference for human art. But if you can tell, this is where we're at today with this technology just being out for a few years, how far it's going to be able to come, right? So very subtle nuances in AI art, and you can see in AI image generation. All right, so what does this mean for the fashion industry? We know what AI is. We know whether we can distinguish it or not, which is probably not at this point, or very soon we won't be able to tell at all. Huge disruption is coming for our industry. And I've identified 5 key areas that we will see major change in. Positive change, I think, which is personalization and customer experience, merchandising and fashion design, marketing, which I could do a whole other 6-hour presentation for you on. I'm really, really excited about this. Sustainability and supply chain, and trend forecasting. And I think I told you that's where the magic's going to happen. So personalization and customer experience. So we're going to start to see better customer service. How many of us have picked up the phone when we're calling a company and just said, agent, 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 1100000. I just want to talk to a human, please, right? Well, customer service is going to get so much better because these chatbots that we've worked with, not just on computer, not these additional chatbots that kind of pop up, but by phone and by email as well, we're going to be able to get better customer service because they're using generative AI models like the LLMs, which will not only be able to give question answer, right? When we trained chatbots before, this is the question that the customer is going to ask, this is the exact answer that you can provide. And you get 5 multiple choice questions that you can ask. And it's so frustrating, right? Now, with using this generative AI, you're actually going to be able to have more of a conversation. Remember, they don't fully understand, but more of a conversation with customer service for better output. This is going to save companies a lot of money. Customer service is a huge cost to companies to have these big call centers and things like that. Still going to need some skills there for people to be able to manage this, but it's going to change customer service in a big way. And then styling recommendations. We haven't really thought about stylist being a vulnerable role, but the truth is that AI will be able to provide really great predictions of what you might like on site or even via text message. All of these incredibly fancy luxury retailers, right? They have relationships they build with their in-store stylists. Well, now with AI, they'll actually be empowered to provide even better recommendations to their clientele. So that's a person-to-person retail example, but even on a website, let's say company Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix recently did this, and they did 90 different questions, touch points, to be able to provide their consumers better recommendations. And they've seen this be incredibly successful. So styling recommendation is going to be huge. But what I'm really excited about within this space is virtual try-ons. Have any of you ever tried a virtual try-on before? They've been pretty bad, right? Really wonky. Like if you've done with one, like with a lipstick, and all of a sudden, like your lips up here, they're bad. But we're going to see them become a lot better. They're going to actually be able to do a better scan of the body, and for fit within the fashion industry, this is really, really exciting. So this is Visual. That's the name of this service that's actually going to be providing accurate virtual try-ons for companies on the site. All right, merchandising and design. Personalized product development is a huge opportunity. This is already happening in the glassware space where they can scan your face and provide glasses recommendations based on the shape of your face. So think about how this could be applied to body type. This whole bespoke model can now be done at scale. That's huge, right? And we all want clothes that are tailored to our body. Right now, it's pretty expensive and hard to do. So this is a huge opportunity to be able to customize customer sizes and styles based on their features. And we're gonna have development at speed. With generative AI, we can now create images, we can go straight to high quality image. So we're gonna be able to iterate and get feedback faster than ever before. So design disruption, there's some really cool tools that are happening already in existence in our industry, like Kala, that's my favorite, and Fashable, and then Resleeve. These are where designers can go and they can actually do a text input, right, a prompt, to get a final design within seconds. So you wanna see it? You wanna see it in action? Okay, this is Kala. They selected a jacket. They're selecting different features. It's going so fast. And they're saying, hey, I like these 3. Those are pretty good. And then this is the cool part. So it's generating it. Oh, I like this one. And here they're going ahead and they're writing comments. And then they're tagging someone in their team. So this is even a project management software. All in one. Pretty cool, right? Here's another version, Resleeve. Make me a formal mini dress with a belt. That's a pretty general prompt. Let's see what they do. And just like here, we have 3 options to choose from. So you see how the technology works a little bit different. Some have a little bit more structured direction up front. Kala kind of says, what of these styles do you want to make? This is very general, but imagine what you could do if you were being even more specific. Okay, that's fashion design, merchandising, customer experience. What's next? Marketing, my favorite thing to talk about. So, custom knowledge bases is probably one of the biggest things that I think is happening within the marketing spaces. So how many of us have used ChatGPT or any of these other programs and we've gotten kind of garbage output that doesn't sound like someone wrote it, right? It's like, I'm gonna delve into a tapestry of blah, blah, blah SAT words, right? Nobody talks like that. So it's a big frustration point for users that you're not getting a good output. Well, you can actually train ChatGPT and other LLMs on your voice, and you can train them and provide custom knowledge bases. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about this later, but brands can actually use these specialized agents with their custom data to create automatically email, social media campaigns, creative. You can create video with AI and so much more. So content generation using custom knowledge bases is probably one of the game-changing ideas for marketing that's able to be happening today. Another big piece about marketing is reaching the right customer, right? Sometimes we get ads, they're totally off base. They're like, I don't even have a dog. Why do I get this ad? I don't want to buy dog food, right? So targeting the right customers is super important, and it's been challenging. It takes a lot of specialized people within a marketing department, within the growth marketing team, within a digital marketing team, to know how to target the right people. Well, now there's technology that can automatically help you with customer segmentation. They can actually even go ahead and personalize that to you, which is going to be a totally different experience. And I think it's a better experience as a user, because if I don't have a cat, I don't want to be served cat food ads. So this is going to be something that's going to be really cool within the growth and digital marketing space. Sustainability and supply chain is the next big disruption we're going to see within the fashion industry. And this is one of the pain points. We have a bad reputation when it comes to sustainability. We have a major problem with our industry. And it's something that I think a lot of us are really passionate about changing. And a lot of this bad rep that we get within the sustainability space is around waste, right? And so AI is actually going to help us with this huge challenge. How? Using data for inventory management, right? Using data to predict how much we're actually going to need to create so that excess doesn't end up in landfills. We still have some consumer stuff to work through, right? For sure, in terms of making sure that people are investing in quality. But this technology is going to help us manage our inventory in ways that we never have before. Also, huge advancements in robotics to potentially create more garments on the same piece of fabric. When it comes to supply chain efficiency, we're going to be promoting sustainability by minimizing overstock and waste. Okay, now for the fun part. I'm so excited about this. So AI can create images, right? Well, within the AI image ecosystem, right, because it's a whole new world now, there are trends emerging within the fashion industry. Because there's AI artists and creators who are creating fashion in AI. And we're going to talk a little bit about the relationship between in real life and AI. So these are some of my favorite artists and trends that I've identified by looking at thousands and thousands of pictures that are AI generated. So we have 6 trends here. Sorry, more trends than 6. We have edible AI, we have glow, we have flow, we have celebfluence, inclusivity, AI to in real life, IRL, if you didn't know, beauty, branded, and spaces. So edible AI. These are different artists, okay? I don't know who came up with the idea that we wanted to eat our clothes, but apparently this has inspired a lot of different creators because there's certainly some creators who just make, fruit-inspired or food-inspired fashion, but there's many. So I really, really love the banana hat and the little children who are like gourds. That's really cute. This trend deserved 2 slides. I couldn't stop. I couldn't choose. The corn people are so weird. Like that is just odd. And again, like bananas, we had to give it up for the bananas the second time. So again, these are all different artists, right? Bizarre, but cool. So the next we have Glow. So this was actually one of the first, there's an AI Fashion Week. And one of the first presenters who created an entire collection created a collection called Bioessence. And I've now seen this trend of this kind of neon glow that really can't be created in real life start to inspire more AI artists. So if you think about it, AI art doesn't have to always, as we saw with the food, be something that we create in reality, but it's still creating joy, it's still creating ideas, it still has sellable applications, and it can inspire what we create. But it allows us to think beyond anything we've ever been able to create before. There's a bubble dress. I want that, right? Don't you want to just glow when you walk down the runway? I think these are really cool. I'm excited to see someone try to make this. Another example of this is flow. We are seeing AI fashion that defies gravity. There are no rules in AI. There's no gravity here. So we can see how fabric would act without gravity. So cool. And you can see the different volume and how really, I love that there's also a lot of menswear in here, just quite peculiar, but thought-provoking, and just beautiful work. This is so couture. This is so exciting, right? But we probably couldn't make this exactly in real life, so I'm excited that I can see it this way. Celebfluence. So I had to do a fashion villain situation for us. So we have the Ice Queen herself, Anna Wintour. This is all one artist, and he's taken Anna Wintour as his avatar. Not pictured is he created a dress of a Christmas tree, and then she was skiing down the slope with Christmas. It's just bizarre. You got to look him up. So you're starting to see some interesting things, though. Wait, like, aren't those Legos? And then that's an incredibly luxury nod to a suitcase company. So I'm starting to see maybe some brands, and then also image use questions, right? Like, did Anna approve this? I'm assuming not. I definitely don't think Kanye approved his use. He's the girl with the pearl earring, which I just love as an art geek. He's potentially spitting gems in the next image, I just think, or like spewing rocks, I'm not sure. I don't know that Hello Kitty would approve this collaboration, but you can see that artists are really doing some satirical, interesting things. I also love that Van Gogh got involved with Kanye too, right? All right, so you may have noticed with some of the models, there's actually the opportunity to have more inclusivity in fashion campaigns. This is another one of the big challenges we have had as an industry. And as someone who's done casting and managed huge campaigns for brands, I can tell you there's a few reasons why inclusivity is a challenge. Number one, you only have so many models that you can show. The second aspect is that not every product has the same target market. And I'm not saying that as an excuse. That is not an excuse to not have different sizes, different ages, and different backgrounds represented for your brand. But I do know that it's sometimes a budget issue. Not always, not all good actors. But there are times when I would try to make sure that people were represented, but it still was not enough to make sure that consumers saw themselves in our products. Now, with AI, we can actually present people who have not been previously represented fairly, who are consumers of products within campaigns. You can see this was actually a mock campaign for Gucci here. So we have all different ages, all different backgrounds, all different sizes represented. Okay, so is anybody else completely obsessed with Pat McGrath's yes, so good. Mason Margiela's show, just in Fashion Week. So this on this side, that's real. That's real life. This is AI. So you can see after this show, where there was this incredible doll-like dewy skin, AI artists said, that's so cool, I want to create that too. So artists started to recreate those looks. So you can start to see the relationship between the two. And it also goes the other way around. We had to talk about branding, right? This is AI, fashion, and branding. There are many different artists, surprisingly, not only are they making edible Jordans, but they're making high heel Jordans. And again, there are a few, most of these are from one artist, but there are multiple artists creating AI Jordans out of ramen. So this is very imaginative. So, you may say, who's gonna buy that? That's not practical. I think when it comes to Jordans, it's very possible. And I would totally buy these, right? And I need these, right? So you can see how maybe an idea or crazy concept could be created and then validated by user feedback, by consumer feedback, by customers, by internal teams to actually be created. It's also happening in luxury, right? This Chanel bag that's made out of bubble wrap, that would be popped immediately. I could not have that bag. That would definitely not be okay. But these artists are actually coming up with very strange collabs or very strange fusions. And I would not put it past Prada to have these high heel flippers on the runway. It's possible. It's very possible. But these are actually artists who are coming up with collabs and coming up with creative ways to use the technology to spark our imagination. I don't think Chanel would be happy about this. She would definitely not approve. Coco Chanel would not approve an Oreo Chanel shoe. But I feel like people are going to try to recreate that in cake. So AI to birthday cake, it's already happening. And it goes beyond fashion, right? And so here's some concepts for Mercedes, for Ferrari, for Lamborghini. And at first I was like, wow, this is so cool, futuristic, crazy. We have a Porsche residence in Sunny Isles. This is very much already happening. Luxury brands partnering with residences. Potentially we could have a Mercedes plane. I would definitely get on that after it'd been tested a few times, So we could think about these things actually being created. I definitely can see someone in Miami buying that Lamborghini house. And this also has applications within spaces. This is an artist who came up with different outdoor installation concepts for different brands. So if you think about it, how else could we use this technology? We could design in-store displays. We could design pop-up shops. We could design interior spaces. We could design furniture, all with AI before we actually go to create it. Saves a lot of time, saves a lot of money. And this is actually already happening. So this is an artist who created the AI concept first, and this was actually launched during Art Basel this past year. Andreas Reisinger created this Takeover Miami at the Miami Design District. And then this is his AI art of something he created in the digital world for London. So it's going from AI concept to creation in the real world. Now, this is inspired by an incredible installation artist who was actually based here in Miami. It's named Christo. So if any art buffs are in here, you can see how something's now from years and years ago from this, I think the 70s, this incredible installation artist has now inspired this digital artist who's now inspired them to actually go back out and do it in real life. So it's kind of a little bit like Inception, but very cool. All right, that was fun, right? That was my favorite part. But I have some really cool stuff to tell you about what's beyond. So what's happening next, right? We're using the technology, all of this stuff already exists. What's the big idea? What's next? Well, I told you about the custom agents, right? The custom knowledge bases. So we're gonna be talking a little bit about specialized agents. Sounds very undercover, sounds like very FBI type of work. We have AI counterculture and AI approachability. These are the three concepts that I'm thinking about when I imagine what will happen in 2030. Specialized agents and marketing. He's ready to go, right? He's got those goggles on. So I shared a little bit about the challenge where we're seeing that working with these LLMs, we're getting bad results. Well, we have the ability to train it now on custom information like target market, brand voice, and tone. This already exists. I'm doing this. I have my own, what's called GPT within ChatGPT, and it knows how to write for me on LinkedIn. It knows my bio. It knows how I speak. It knows all different things that I've actually created and shared with it, so I can get consistent results. I also make this for my clients. I also teach companies how to create this for their teams. So this is here right now. But what's the next iteration of this? Well, you can create multiple AI agents, so multiple AI chatbots, right, for different skill sets and different jobs, okay? So we could make a marketing strategist AI chatbot, GPT. I could make one for project management, for social media, for graphic design, and I can upload my custom information to make sure that I'm gonna get the results that are approved and that are in line with my brand. This already exists, okay? So, but not a lot of people are using it yet. And the technology is gonna get better and better. But this already exists, and actually all of you are gonna get my program. I'm gonna be sharing with you my friends and family launch of my program, so you can actually, for free, so that you can actually learn how to create this yourself. You can create a GPT to teach AI how to write like you, or like a brand. So I'm gonna be sharing that with you. Couldn't share it all in this hour. I wanted to share like 6 hours with you. So you'll get that after this. So specialized agents, right? Different skill sets, all within the same brand, all within the same company. What's the big idea here? Well, automatically, chatbots, GPTs, structured data, custom data, with different skill sets can automatically communicate with each other. They can automatically prompt each other. Some basic technology already exists here where I could say, I want to create a fashion line that's created with ocean plastic that will eventually be put back in the ocean to make more coral reefs, right? I could type that out, put that into one of these platforms, and it could actually go all the way and prompt all the way to actually giving me images, giving me a video concept, giving me emails, social media strands. It could create the whole campaign for me by using something similar to this concept. That exists, but it's not really quite there yet. So what's going to happen is that you can put in a prompt, it will be prompted by a human, and then all of these different skill sets, right? These different AI technologies will automatically communicate with each other and prompt each other where needed. The big idea, and even crazier, sorry, we're going a little inception here, is that there will actually be the need and the creation for an AI manager agent. Not AI management. AI management will be us. An AI manager agent will be AI managing other AI. Okay? You guys still with me? Yeah, right? I know. It's a little wackadoo, but this is going to be the big conversation. So again, not scary because we're still going to need human intervention at some of these steps and the technology is being built. So that sounds like a big opportunity to me to be a part of that and to learn these skills and to be part of the conversation and understanding how these technologies work so you know how you can contribute. But this is one of the big AI ideas, especially for marketing teams. I could imagine a marketing team wanting to make this for their whole team. social media team, email team, communications team, PR team, graphic designer, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, counterculture. So I don't know if any of you have seen this. It's actually shown up on TikTok, which sounds odd, but there's a lot of Gen Z who are actually buying flip phones. Flip phone sales are up. I think people are just totally overwhelmed with the amount of technology, social media. And so there's already a counterculture happening right now when it comes to smartphones. So we'll see the same likely with AI. There's going to be, it's predicted that almost 20% of brands are expected to take an AI position and strategy that's AI free. And it's an interesting conversation because brands today, one of the most important things that brands should be doing in potentially educational institutions is deciding what is your AI policy. It doesn't have to be forever, but you need to start thinking about what is the AI policy going to be for your brand. And with this counterculture, like any new technology, right? Like record players are back in, so cool. People like typewriters. So there's always this kind of counterculture that's a little bit becomes cool against that technology. So we're going to start to see this by 2027, very soon. And I think it's going to be exciting because it will give handcraft goods another opportunity and really differentiate them. I think this is going to be, my prediction is that this is going to be a little bit more niche, but I do think that there's going to be this human want for human crafted things, authenticity, artisanal. So this is an opportunity still for humans to crochet, for humans to create, for humans to use a loom. There's still going to be a place for us for this space, but it has to be done very intentionally, and you have to be able to ride the wave, is what I would say. All right, this is the real big idea that I'll leave you with. So when AI came on the scene, we heard about bots, chat bots, new AI robots. We've all seen the movies where the bots take over the world. It's terribly scary, right? It's like doomsday movies. Well, this is how it was initially introduced to us, right? And bots are scary. But then we started to see that them being described as assistants. This is something that we're currently using. Assistants or agents is the way that we as marketers for technology are communicating what our technology does. And this is easier to understand, right? We understand that AI is going to be my assistant, a little less scary maybe, right, than the word bot. And it does really help us understand what the technology can do. It's going to assist me. It's going to help me. It's not taking over anything, right? It's not going to start doing crazy things, right? And start rebelling against humans. Can't say for sure. All right, so CES is the world's largest technology conference. And this past CES, there were 3 technologies that were launched. They were totally unrelated. These only have one thing in common. And this is Copilot, which is Microsoft's new AI assistant, which is really cool technology, going beyond just what a regular conversation with ChatGPT can be. So this is something that you can use in your web browser within your Microsoft programs. Again, totally different. Bali, which is a physical device, a home device. This ball rolls around your house like the Jetsons. If any of you are old enough to remember the Jetsons, it was a cartoon back in the day. This ball can actually do like some small home tasks for you. It can also like project things on the walls so you could work out or watch TV. Interesting, but Samsung spent a lot of time on this, so it's going to be a cool at-home kind of helper. And then Rabbit R1. This is a wearable device. It's like a big watch. And this is technology is trying to disrupt the mobile phone, the mobile device industry. And this is focusing on going beyond the app experience. So right now on our mobile phone, we pull it out and we have to go from one app to the other to the other. This technology actually will be able to train it on a process one time, and then it can do it for you over and over. So you don't have to open up multiple apps. It does a lot of cool other things, but for all intents and purposes, it's a wearable device. So what does a Microsoft's technology and a computer that you're going to use, the ball that's going to roll around your house and do things, and the technology on your wrist, what do those things have in common? Not much. Of course, they're all AI, but they all have been described as a companion. So this is a very subtle, small nuance that I picked up on, but a really important one, because AI is becoming humanized. And I don't mean that as in like AI is going to become a human, which is what the main concern is, but I mean that the way we're describing the technology and interacting with the technology is more and more intimate. And so when we think about the next generation, their entire life, their entire being is going to be completely indistinguishable between their experience and an AI experience. They're going to have AI in their home, on their body, in their computer, talking to AI. So an imaginary friend isn't so imaginary at all anymore. And although this is quite scary to some people to think about, I choose to think that this is really exciting and approach every day with technology, with optimism and positivity. And so I invite you to do the same. Thank you so much.